Hi, I'm Mike Marin. I'm the Village Administrator for the Village of Glendale Heights. And we're here today at the Senior Center in front of the fire to have a fireside chat with Mayor Linda Jackson about what's going on today in Glendale Heights with the COVID-19 pandemic. Mayor Jackson.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So, Mayor, just so that our residents understand, as the COVID-19 pandemic grew closer to home, what were some of the steps that you took to ensure that the village was prepared?
We have been prepared for emergencies ever since September 11th happened. We set up an emergency operations manual, and we have had a crisis management team, and we've practiced through the years because I was in New York 1 month after September 11th, and no matter what you see on TV, when you see it in real life, in person, it really makes you realize what a disaster can do to an area. And the only thing you can do is you can't prevent a disaster from hitting you. What you can do, though, is be prepared, which we have been. So we already had the group in place and ready to go. And as soon as the governor issued a declaration of disaster, then the county issued a disaster declaration. The next day, which was March 17th, I issued a declaration of disaster for the village. And what a declaration of disaster does, along with the declaration of emergency, is that it gives the village the opportunity to get help from the outside. So everybody can sit back and say, well, where's the state? Where's the federal government? Where's this? Until you have your own declaration of disaster declared, the county just can't come in and help you. The state just can't come in and help you, because then they're taking over your jurisdiction. So that's one thing I learned many years ago, is you have to issue that if you want help. So we issued that, and also on March 19th, we issued the board approved an ordinance giving me executive powers, which enables, due to the COVID-19. Mm-hmm. And those executive powers allow me to expend money or approve money being spent for COVID-19 necessities. And it also gives me the power to issue executive orders to close down certain areas in the village, to close down Village Hall, to require certain things. The board then approves it at a later time, but you might not have a board meeting for 2 weeks, and some things just can't wait.
Sure.
So March 19th, they approved that, and that has to be voted on every 14 days to extend it. So I don't have power to just spend money any way I want. That's not what this is about.
Okay.
March 23rd, we did the declaration of emergency. And like I said before, it provides us additional resources for our businesses and residents.
Opens up FEMA funding?
Opens up FEMA funding. Because if you don't declare a disaster, even if you wait to declare it for a week or two into it, until you declare that disaster, you're not going to get help or reimbursed monies.
Okay. And when you first declared a disaster in Glendale Heights on March 17th, there were very few, and I don't remember the exact numbers, but there were very few cases, even in DuPage County, let alone within the town.
Correct. But
Yeah.
you just didn't know.
Right.
If you declare a disaster and you're fortunate enough not to have it hit you hard, it hasn't done any damage. However, if you do get hit hard, you need to have that in place.
And everything that we were seeing up to that point was telling us it was coming.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So you mentioned the executive orders. Have you issued any executive orders since the ordinance was passed?
Yes, I have. We suspended any citations that had to do with village stickers or parking on the street overnight, dog and cat licenses. Also, no water shutoffs for non-payment of water bills. We took off the late fees on the water bills due on April 6th and on May 4th. We stopped any door-to-door solicitation within village limits. And there are no late fees on parking tickets that were issued in March or April.
So some of the things in the executive orders that you did for small businesses, temporary signage, for instance?
We're letting businesses put up temporary signs. The food and beverage taxes for restaurants and bars have been deferred for 60 days. The senior citizen utility tax rebate has been extended to June 30th. And
those applications would have normally been due on April 30th, correct?
they would have been due on April 30th.
But because Village Hall is closed and Senior Center is closed, which is another executive order that you had
Yes.
issued as well, closing all that.
Yes, probably one of the biggest executive orders was closing of the sports hub, the senior center, and Village Hall.
Right.
And that we did for the safety of the residents. And it's a hard time to do it because that's when people need places to go. The
Yes.
kids, I feel so bad for the children because they're used to being able to go to the sports hub and play in open gym or do different activities there, and they haven't been, now they can't do it. So it's just like a double whammy. No school, but there's really no play either, so
Nothing else to do.
very hard on children and on parents, but children don't understand.
Right. So we mentioned the closings of the sports hub and so forth. What other effects has the COVID-19 pandemic had on village services?
Well, it has not affected our village emergency services. We're still there 24/7. You need a police officer, you need help, you have a water main break, whatever, the village will still be there. We have put it where you can apply for some building permits online so that people, now that a lot of them are off and they're trying to get things done at home, that you can apply for the permits online.
Well, and I think that's very important to remind people that you do need permits for certain things.
Yes,
And that has not been suspended
right.
because of this. There's just other ways
You
of
need
doing
the
it.
permits for different things that you do, and you can still get them. If you're having trouble online, pick up the phone and call community development. Somebody will walk you through it. We also canceled any and all activities in April, which included breakfast with the Easter Bunny and the Easter egg hunt and opening day for baseball and everything.
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. The recycling event.
Yes,
Yeah.
recycling. It's like everything changed. But we do have employees here every day to help with questions you might have or suggestions you might have or to bring you up to date on things that might have transpired. But just please call us, because a lot of times out there in social media you'll see questions asked, and all you got to do is call the village, because a lot of the answers out there can be very misleading to people. There's people answering the questions that don't really
So
know.
in regards to some of the other services, one of the things I think that we've seen a lot of questions about is the garbage pickup. What kind of changes have we seen there?
Garbage pickup, hopefully, this is what they've told us. They wanted to stop yard waste pickup. And they also wanted to stop the no bulk goods, which would be mattresses, couches, dressers, whatever. We said no. We did, however, let them go till the end of April without picking up the bulk goods, but that should start again the first pickup date you have in May.
Okay.
And yard waste still should be picked up every week. They do ask you to not put stuff next to your garbage can, either have it in garbage cans or on top of it in bags or boxes, so that they don't have to handle loose stuff, because they're worried about their employees
So,
too.
right, they're looking out for the safety of their employees. And part of the reasoning behind the bulk goods is they were concerned about sick calls and not having enough staff as well,
Yes.
correct? Okay.
Yes, which is understandable, because you just don't know how it's going to affect your operations.
Right.
Even though the senior center is closed, we are still providing meals to our seniors, both for pickup and for home delivery. So that is still being done, and we also do a check on our seniors. If they are signed up for a call list, when it's too cold, when it's too hot, when something is going on, we just give them a call to make sure they're okay. Well, this is the time we're doing that too.
So our senior center employees are making those calls
Yes, our
personally?
senior center employees are making those calls, and from what I've heard, a lot of the seniors are really happy just to
Yeah.
have a voice they know on the other end of the phone, wondering how they're doing. So,
And from what I understand, the senior center employees have been delivering puzzles as well to some of
yes, delivering puzzles.
our seniors that enjoy that, so.
I mean, we have some seniors that are in here every day of the week when we're open. And it's got to be a real shock
Yeah,
to not have
yeah.
this place to go to. So I'll be very happy when it opens back up,
Yes, I think a lot of people will be.
along with everybody else.
Yes, yeah. So we were talking a little bit about the emergency operations plan and the exercises that we've done, and some of the relationships that we have with our other agencies that are taxing bodies within the village or affect our residents. What are some of the behind-the-scenes kind of conversations that you've been having with federal, state, local officials in regards to COVID-19?
Well, as for local, we have a thing called Government Agency Partnership, which we've had for probably about 18 years now. And that's when every other month we get together as a group, the school districts, 15, 16, 87, St. Matthews, Glenside Fire, Bloomingdale Fire, the library, the county board members that represent our district, sometimes even our state and federal reps will send somebody and update us on what's going on that's affecting our towns. The hospital is also part of that. And it's good that you share the information and everybody knows what's going on. You're not planning events backed up against each other, but most importantly is you can help each other accomplish
Sure.
what's best for the community.
And earlier you mentioned the crisis management team, and all of those same entities are a part of our crisis management team here in the
All
village.
of them are a part of our crisis management team. And when we have had exercises practicing it, they are all part of the exercise also. So, in fact, years ago, it came up from one of those meetings with our emergency plan was the fire department, police department really needed doors numbered, and not only factories, but
Right.
schools and everything, because if they get a call and it's an emergency to go in the west door or the east door or whatever, you could have a couple different doors on that same side and not know. So
Yeah.
they are all numbered.
And that eventually became a countywide initiative.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we started it,
So,
which is very helpful.
so with that, obviously, you've been talking in regards to COVID-19, you've been talking with all of those partners. What about other area managers, federal, state officials?
I have been on the phone more in the past 2 months with Zoom calls with
And who knew
not
what that
only-
was 2 months ago, right?
Oh, I didn't even know what Zoom was, you're right. With all the area mayors, DuPage Mayors and Managers Conference, Metropolitan Mayors Caucus, with the governor, with the health department. Just a whole lot of information sharing, which is good. I think they should do more of that even when this is all over with, because you can get some good ideas. Everybody has their own way of doing things. Everybody's town is different, but you can take little bits of what other towns are doing and figure out how to fit it into your community to benefit your residents. So it's good. It would be much nicer if we found out some solid information, because we're all in the same boat. Nobody knows when this is going to let up or when businesses are going to be able to open, and that I think is the worst part, is you just don't know and you can't.
Right. And you have to trust the
Plan.
experts.
Yes, you do. Of which we aren't,
No, not at all.
especially when it comes to diseases.
So you obviously have a lot of sources that you're getting information from. Where can residents and businesses find resources regarding COVID-19?
For residents and businesses, the most updated information that we've been given from reliable sources will be on www.glendaleheights.org/COVID-19. And that will be updated whenever we get new information. But at least what's on there is not rumor, it's not, well, maybe it's this. It is the information that we have gotten from the different sources legitimate sources.
And a lot of that is links to the Illinois Department of Public Health websites and CDC websites.
Right.
The most up-to-date information is available there.
Yep.
So-
There will be links to all of the organizations where we get our information to.
Sure.
So if you want to go into it in more detail, you can.
Very good. With so many businesses and restaurants being affected, what are some of the ways our residents can help to support our local businesses?
The best way you can support our businesses, if they are doing curbside pickup or delivery, best thing you can do for your local businesses is to order from them. They are trying to keep their employees working and trying to keep their business going, because this is a real difficult time. There was no warning that everything was going to be shut down. It happened. And that's hard on employees and on the business owners, because you can't, when you're used to having a paycheck come in, or funds come in from a product that you produced, and all of a sudden there's nothing there, it's a hardship, very much so. So anything that we can do to help our businesses, and that includes all the residents, please. I know we always say shop local, but
Now more than ever.
now it would really help to shop local, so we still have.
Yeah, now more than ever. So the village is also working on some community engagement initiatives, and what are some of those initiatives, and what have you been seeing from the residents themselves?
The residents have been just phenomenal when it comes to figuring out different things to make the kids happy, and actually make adults happy too. We had a couple residents that did the Easter Bunny drive around, which was phenomenal. I wanted to do it by the village, but since I ordered everything shut down, I really could not be part of that. But I'm glad we had residents that volunteered to do it, and we had the bunny suit. And
Yeah,
that's
they
it.
used the
did
village's bunny
great.
suits, yeah.
And they've done sidewalk chalk art and different displays in their windows, and it just makes everybody feel better. The Sports Hub is putting on Glendale Heights TV specials, which have to do with bedtime stories and stories and crafts, chair yoga, kids karate. So if your kids are bored, turn on Glendale Heights TV.
And we're also available on our YouTube channel as well.
Also available on YouTube, correct. Our police department even had the school resource officers, who the children are familiar with, read Easter stories and put it on TV for them. So it was kind of
Very good.
really nice community involvement. Food is being distributed throughout the village. As I said before, the senior center, we have pickup for seniors or delivery for seniors. District 16 has the same at their Glenside Junior High. District 15 has it at Marquardt.
And those are for their children, for the school.
Children
Right.
that still need food.
Right.
And District 87 has it at all their high schools, which, since we don't have our own high school here and our kids go to 3 different high schools, District 87 asked if they could come by our village and set up a distribution for the Glendale Heights people, so they didn't have to drive so far for the meals. And we provided them a location in front of the Glendale Heights Aquatic Center, and it's been working really, really well. So if you have somebody that goes to east or somebody that goes to north or west, you don't have to go to those schools. You can come right to the Aquatic Center and pick up the meals.
And that's a Monday through Friday thing?
Monday through Friday.
Okay. Also, the food pantries in town, I know the senior center and the police have helped to get food from the food pantries to seniors and other
Yes.
Needy residents.
Because it's very difficult for the seniors to get to the food pantry. Instead of having a bus take them there, because now you can't even go through the food pantry, they're handing you stuff, that we, along with the police department helping, have been delivering food to not only seniors, but other people in need that don't have the ability to go and pick it up.
Excellent. The red ribbons around town.
The red ribbons. Those are ribbons of hope, unity, and solidarity for the entire country. So we would love to see everybody put red ribbons on their trees, just showing that we're all in this together, we all care what happens, and we're all here to help each other.
Very good. And I know it does show a lot of support for our healthcare workers. And with the hospital right here in town, we are attempting to help them with childcare, correct?
Correct. Yeah, we did offer childcare for the nurses, doctors, whatever they need assistance with that. And I think we've only had a couple
Yes.
responses so far, but that could change depending on how long
Right.
this pandemic lasts. We're not sending out a recreation brochure, senior newsletter, and actually the village newsletter right now because it's full of dates and activities and it's there to tell you everything going on, but it changes from day to day. We just don't know. We have no clue when the governor is going to decide to either extend the April 30th deadline or not extend it or partially open up things. So we don't know what we can have or can't have.
Sure. And that's
So we don't want to waste the money sending out a brochure that doesn't tell you anything.
so right now our summer programs are kind of a question mark for us.
Very questionable.
Right.
We just don't know. And we, above all, we want people to stay safe and stay healthy. But we have to do things that aren't so much fun
Right.
to try and protect people.
And our newsletter would have actually had to be at the printers almost in mid-April, and with the governor's order still out there and the
Yeah.
phased-in approach of reopening government from the federal guidance, it's really an unknown as to how this is all going to happen starting in May and June.
Very hard.
So,
Very hard. So, if you want to know if anything's going on, you have any questions about programs or activities, please call. Or you can find out on social media with the Glendale Heights pages or on our village website.
So the Parks and Rec brochure and the village newsletter and that will all be available on our website. But
Correct.
this way, we can change it because everything
Yep.
changes on such a regular basis.
Yep, and we don't know if we can have park parties or Even if we can have Summerfest,
Memorial
Charity
Day.
Golf Classic, any of your sports. You know, right now we had to close the playgrounds, everything, and this is when the weather's getting nice. But that's the directive, and that's what they say you need to do to stop this from spreading. So we will go with what the experts say and just try and get by the best we can.
So as we're looking to the future, what do you think Memorial Day is going to look like?
What do I think about the future?
Oh, let's look
Oh,
as far as
Memorial
Memorial
Day.
Day.
Memorial Day, we will have something. But right now, I couldn't tell you what it is. Normally, we have the kids come from the schools and plant all the little flags for all the our veterans that didn't make it. And it's like they're not even in school. Plus, you
Right.
don't want to bring them all together. So I don't know what we're going to have, but we will definitely.
So it'll be watch the website and our social media.
Yes, please watch the website, social media, or call the village. Somebody will be able to get you information.
So Mayor, also one thing that I know that you've been watching, and it mentioned by the executive orders about evictions for non-payment of rent or mortgages and so forth, and those have been halted, correct, by the executive order?
Correct. The governor issued the order where there will be no evictions, and the Federal CARES Act prohibits late fees from being charged for federally backed housing and mortgages. So if you're having trouble paying your mortgage or whatever, please call your mortgage company. If you need more information, you can either call us or it will be on the website. But whatever you do, call them, because a lot of them are supposed to be helping.
There are,
And if
I
they're
know-
not, then they need to be reported.
Yeah.
And you can call community development should you have any questions regarding that or rent, or they will have the same information that we have, and hopefully it will be the most accurate at the time.
Yes. Any last comments, Mayor?
Last comments would be, we will all get through this together. Hopefully it's brought us closer together as a community, and a little bit of kindness, a little bit of help goes a long, long way. And we're here, we care, we want to help, we want to make things good for not only our residents, but for everyone. So we will get through this, and we'll get through it together, and then we will go on with whatever is the new normal life.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll be the way we've always been used to it, but
So just please stay safe and stay healthy.
thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mike.